Hello friends and welcome to Pendulum Video. Today we'll be discussing daily current affairs of 24 July 2020. So guys, quickly join the session and also ask your friends to join this session and try to share this video as much as you can. And those who have not subscribed to our channel Pendulum Video, please subscribe it and do not forget to press the bell icon to receive notification. You can also join us on our Telegram channel where study material is available for your preparation. So without wasting time, let's start the session. First news is the operating routes of merchant and fishing vessels were separated in Southwest India Sea route. So recently the Ministry of Shipping has separated the operating routes of merchant and fishing vessels in the Southwest Indian waters. Operations on these routes will come into effect from 1st of August. Many trade ships pass through the Arabian Sea on the southwest coast of the country. So this is the map of India. And over here is the Arabian Sea, and many trade ships these pass through the Arabian Sea on the southwest coast of the country. This is the southwest coast of India, and the monsoon that comes from this direction, it is known as southwest monsoon. The area is one of the busiest routes causing accidents between maritime vessels. So why this operating routes were separated for merchant and fishing vessels? Because this is one of the busiest route, as we all know that major ports lie over here in Mumbai and all other regions, and this is the one of the busiest route, and here accidents occur. So as to avoid those accidents, to reduce the number of accidents, the operating routes of merchant and fishing vessels have been separated in this area. The decision has been taken to make shipping in Indian seas easier, and this decision, it will benefit the following. It will provide the benefit such as incidents of ships colliding will decrease. So as I told that the incidents of ship colliding with each other, that will reduce. Then protection of marine environment, sea traffic will be more accessible, and loss of property will prevent loss of life. Okay, so these are some of the benefits of this decision. Moving forward, Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone for the Manipur water supply project. Recently, our Prime Minister has laid the foundation stone of Manipur water supply project through video conferencing, and the project of Manipur water supply project, it is started under the Jal Jeevan mission. So Jal Jeevan mission, this is very important, and this mission was in news recently. And this mission, it was launched in August 2019 to provide safe and adequate drinking water supply to every rural household in the country by 2024. So to provide piped water supply which is safe for drinking and adequate amount is available to all the rural households. This is the aim of the government under the Jal Jeevan mission by 2024. The mission is based on a community approach to water, and the key components of the mission are information, education and communication. This creates a mass movement for water, making it a priority for everyone. So as we all know that water is very important for the life, and saving water will ensure the supply of water to others also, and for the future generation also. So Jal Jeevan mission, it is a community based approach mission, and it creates a mass movement for water. Now moving forward, let's see a question. Recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has laid the foundation stone for water supply project in which northeast state? Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur and Tripura. Quickly comment the correct answer. What will be the correct answer for this? In which northeastern state the foundation stone for water supply project has been laid? The correct answer is option C, that is Manipur. Moving forward to the next news, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu unveiled the statue of Dr. Ambedkar at the CAG office in New Delhi. And we all know that Dr. Ambedkar, he was a multidisciplinary genius and the creator of modern India. He was the chairman of the drafting committee of a constitution for making the constitution, and he guided the country to a turning point, and he contributed very much for the welfare of the scheduled caste community. And talking about CAG, that is Comptroller and Auditor General of India, it is an authority of India, and this was established by Article 148 of the Constitution. So this is a constitutional body. Any body that finds mention or it derives its power and functions from the Constitution, then it is called as constitutional body. So the office of CAG, that is Comptroller and Auditor General of India, it is a constitutional body and it was established by Article 148. What is the purpose of this body? It records all receipts and expenses of the Government of India and the state governments. So it presents its report. It presents its report to whom? Quickly comment the correct answer. CAG represents or presents its report, annual report, to whom? Quickly comment. So all the reports of Comptroller and Auditor General of India or CAG are submitted annually to the President. These are presented to the President in case of Union, and because it records the receipts and expenses of both central government and state government, so at a union level the report is presented to President of India, and at the state level it is presented to Governor. Okay, so this is an important information. Let's see a question related to the news. So the Comptroller and Auditor General has been established under which article of the Indian Constitution? Article 280, Article 148, Article 312 and Article 123. Quickly comment the correct answer. What will be the correct answer for this? Which article is related to CAG? The correct answer is option B, that is 148. Article 280, it is related to Finance Commission of India. Finance Commission of India. Article 312, it empowers Rajya Sabha to create All India services. Then Article 123, it is related to ordinance making power of President. And for Governor, which article is related to ordinance? Quickly comment. For Governor, which article is related to, or you can say which article empowers Governor to issue ordinance in a state? Article 213. Okay, 123 for President and Article 213 for Governor. Moving forward to the next news. India and Maldives signed a contract to set up fish processing plants in 2 islands of Maldives. An MOU for the implementation of fish processing plants was signed between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Maldivian President Ibrahim Soli in December 2019. So last year in December, an MOU was signed for the implementation of fish processing plants between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Maldives President Ibrahim Soli. These fish processing plants are the first in series of high impact community development projects, HICDP. India and Maldives are committed to execute HICDP projects under grants totaling US $5.5 million. These projects selected by the Maldives government include high levels of community influence and participation in the areas of livelihood and income generation, health, education, gender and child empowerment, etc. So these projects, HICDP projects, these are selected by Maldives government, and India and Maldives, they are both committed to execute the projects which are assigned under this HICDP, which is high impact community development projects. And now under this project, the fish processing plants will be established in the 2 islands of Maldives. HICDP is an important dimension of the dynamic development partnership between India and Maldives. These projects are inspired by the needs of communities of the island. Talking about Maldives, you can see the location of Maldives. This is the location of Maldives. It is a small island nation in South Asia which is located in Arabian Sea. It is located about 700 km from the mainland of Asian continent to the southwest of Sri Lanka and India. So to the southwest of Sri Lanka and India, this Maldives is located. Its capital is Malé and the currency is Maldivian rupiah. President over here is Ibrahim Soli. Moving forward, let's see a question. Recently, India has signed a contract to set up fish processing plants in 2 islands of which country? Vietnam, Sri Lanka, Maldives and Laos. Quickly comment the correct answer. With which country India has signed a contract to set up fish processing plants? The correct answer is option C, that is Maldives. Moving forward, India Idea Summit organized by USIBC. It recently concluded on 22nd July, and on the occasion, Nisha Viswal, who is the chairperson of US India Business Council, she said that USIBC is playing a big role in strengthening not only the trade contacts between India and US but also the basic relations between the two countries. Also, for inclusive growth, the Council is ready to help in increasing investment, setting up industrial units and creating business opportunities. And this US India Business Council, which organizes this India Idea Summit, so it is an annual event, and this year it was the 45th edition of this conference. Talking about US India Business Council, this was established in 1975 as a professional advocacy organization. This USIBC aims to encourage private sectors of India and the United States to create investment or to increase investment flows to both the countries. It is headquartered in Washington DC, United States. So this was all about USIBC, that is US India Business Council. Let's see a question related to the news. In which year was the US India Business Council established? 1965, 1975, 1970 and 1960. Quickly comment the correct answer. When was this US India Business Council established? The correct answer is option B, that is 1975. Moving forward, Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid homage to Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Chandrasekhar Azad on their birth anniversary on 23rd July. So Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he was one of the trio of Lal, Bal, Pal. So quickly comment who are the other two Lal and Pal. Bal is Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Who are the other two of the trio Lal, Bal, Pal? Quickly comment. Lal is Lala Lajpat Rai, and Bal is Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Pal is Bipin Chandra Pal. So these were the three extremists, very famous extremists, and these three were known. These three were very famous, famously known as Lal, Bal, Pal. And talking about Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he was born on 23rd July 1856 in Chikli village of Ratnagiri, Maharashtra. He was an Indian nationalist and independence activist. He was the first leader of Indian independence movement, and British official Valentine Chirol called him the father of Indian unrest. So a question can be asked that who is known as the father of Indian unrest? Such type of questions are asked. So Bal Gangadhar Tilak was known as the father of Indian unrest, and he was the first leader of Indian independence movement. He founded two newspapers, one was Kesari and other was Maratha. The Kesari was in Marathi language and this Maratha was in English. So these newspapers were started by Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and also in 1916 the Home Rule League was established in Maharashtra by Bal Gangadhar Tilak. And the another offshoot of this, or you can say in the particular region, the Home Rule League, another was set up by which lady? One lady was associated with the Home Rule League, very famous. She established some of the centers in India. Quickly comment. It was established on the lines of Irish Home Rule Movement, Indian Home Rule League, Annie Besant. She established some of the centers in India related to Home Rule League, and some were established by Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Bal Gangadhar Tilak died on 1st August 1920, the day the non-cooperation movement started in Mumbai. Now moving forward, Chandrasekhar Azad, he was also born on 23rd July 1906 in Babra in Alirajpur district of Madhya Pradesh. He was an Indian revolutionary who reorganized the Hindustan Republic Association in 1928. He renamed that Hindustan Republic Association as Hindustan Socialist Republic Association. He died on February 27, 1931 in Chandrasekhar Azad Park, Prayagraj after being shot. Now let us see a question related to the news. What is not true with respect to Bal Gangadhar Tilak? He was one of the trio of Lal Bal Pal. He was the first leader of the Indian independence movement. In 1918, the Humru League was established in Maharashtra, and he died on 1st of August 1920 in Mumbai, the day the non-cooperation movement started. So quickly comment the correct answer. With what is not true with respect to the Bal Gangadhar Tilak? Quickly comment the correct answer. Which statement is not true? The correct answer is option C, that is in 1918 the Humru League was established in Maharashtra. This statement is not true. And why this statement is not true? As we discussed that Humru League was established in 1916 in Maharashtra. Therefore, this statement is not correct. Moving forward, India received the first batch of 4,475 oxygen concentrators from the Temasek Foundation, which is located in Singapore. So this Singapore-based Temasek Foundation, it is ready to help India by providing 20,000 oxygen concentrators, and the first batch of the 4,475 oxygen concentrators have been received by India, and the remaining concentrators will be received next month. These devices will prove to be of great help in managing the moderate cases of COVID-19, as there will not be any lack of oxygen concentrators in the country. These machines can be used in COVID-19 care centers and railway coaches that have been renovated as COVID care centers. It is also particularly useful in remote areas where logistic constraints become a hindrance to the continuous supply of oxygen cylinders. So this is a very helpful initiative by the Temasek Foundation, which is a Singapore-based foundation. Now let us see a question related to the news. Recently, from which country India has received the first batch of 4,475 oxygen concentrators? So options are France, USA, Singapore and Japan. Quickly comment the correct answer. What will be the correct answer for this? The correct answer is option C, that is Singapore. And Singapore, it is a maritime country in Southeast Asia, and this country, it has its capital as Singapore only, and the national language is Malay, and government here is a unitary dominant party parliamentary constitutional republic, and the current prime minister of Singapore is Lee Hsien Loong. He is the current prime minister of Singapore. The president over here is Halima Yacob. Okay, so this was all about the Singapore, and let us move forward to the next news. SNBNCBS Kolkata, that is SN Bose National Center for Basic Sciences Kolkata, it has developed a mask with active respirator valve and filter for protection from suspended particles. As we all know that recently N95 mask has been declared to be unsafe by or you can say they have been declared to be not be able to prevent the spread of COVID-19 by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and it was been advised to wear triple layer mask which is homemade or which is without this valve, because it do not allow the virus to emit out, and therefore new initiative has been taken. SN Bose National Center for Basic Sciences has developed a breathable, comfortable and hygienically active respirator mask with valve and filter for suspended particulate protection. The active respirator is an innovative solution to the problem of recurrence of carbon dioxide and emitted moisture inside the mask. A nano sanitizer with antimicrobial dispensing layer has also been developed by this center. This innovative sanitizer relieves the skin dehydration problem due to frequent use. As due to the frequent use of sanitizer, many people reported that their skin has been dehydrated, and I myself is facing such problem. So such type of nano sanitizer has been developed by this Kolkata based institute with antimicrobial dispensing layer. which will relieve the skin dehydration problem. And you can see the mask, their filter is there in this mask, and active respirator valve is there. It will allow the it will protect the person from suspended particulate protection, provide suspended particulate protection, and also it will deal with the problem to the emitted moisture inside the mask. So this is very hygienic mask which has been developed. Both products have been transferred by the National Research Development Corporation to a Kolkata based company for manufacturing. So these will be soon available, these both products, for both mask and nano sanitizer, and for manufacturing they has been sent, and now they will be available for general public. This will be launched on 15th of August. Okay, so the launch date for this has been decided as 15th of August. SN Bose National Center for Basic Sciences, it is an autonomous research institute which is dedicated to basic research in mathematics under the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. This institute is located in Kolkata, West Bengal, and it was established in 1986. Now let us see a question related to the news. Which of the following statements is true? You have to tell which statement is correct. SNBNCBS Kolkata has developed a mask containing an active respirator valve and filter for protection from suspended particles. This institute was established in 1988. 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, none of the above. Quickly comment the correct answer. Option A is the correct answer because only statement 1 is correct. This institute was established in 1986 and not 1988. Moving forward to the next news, AIIMS Nagpur has developed smart wristbands to track COVID-19 positive patients. So, a model for tracking and monitoring of COVID-19 positive and suspected patients. This has been developed by AIIMS Nagpur in collaboration with IIT Jodhpur and Indian Institute of Information Technology IIIT Nagpur. The device is in the form of a smart wristband. It has been conceptualized by Dr. Prathamesh Kamble, who is the Assistant Professor of Physiology in AIIMS Nagpur. This wristband can provide mobile-free operation using geofencing technology, which will warn on any violation in quarantine area on real-time basis. So, if any person is violating the quarantine area, then using the geofencing technology on the real-time basis, the alarm will be raised. In addition, this wristband will also provide warnings such as the wearer's temperature, pulse rate, respiration rate, and oxygen saturation. So this wristband is really very smart. It can detect that if any person is violating the quarantine area or not, and secondly, it can note the temperature, pulse rate, respiration rate, and oxygen saturation also. Moving forward, let us see a question. Which institute has developed smart wristbands to track COVID-19 positive patients? DRDO, CSIR, AIIMS Nagpur, and ISC Bangalore. Quickly comment the correct answer. Which institute has developed smart wristwatches for COVID-19 patient? The correct answer is option C, that is AIIMS Nagpur. Moving forward to the next news, Britain will open a new special route for Hong Kong residents to gain British citizenship from January 2021. This change in immigration rules has been brought after China imposed a new comprehensive national security law on Hong Kong. So, as we all know that UK was UK handed its former colony Hong Kong to China in 1997 under one country two system framework, and Hong Kong enjoyed special status. It was declared a special autonomous region, special status under the agreement between the China and the UK, while the Hong Kong was handed to China. And now China has passed a new rule, which is the Comprehensive National Security Law on Hong Kong, and due to this, the immigration rules has been changed by UK government, and the new rules, these will open special route for Hong Kong residents to gain British citizenship from January 2021. These eligible Hong Kong residents, they can reach any position in UK at any skill level and without salary limits. So these special provisions will be there in the new special route. These people, they can apply for settling in UK permanently after 5 years, and after next 12 months they can apply for British citizenship. Okay, so these are some of the provisions that will be made. Now let us see a question. Which country is going to open a new special route for Hong Kong residents from January 2021 to get their citizenship? USA, India, Russia and Britain. Quickly comment the correct answer. Which country will open new special route for Hong Kong residents? The correct answer is option D, that is Britain. Moving forward, US President Donald Trump has started a new operation which is named as Operation Legend. This operation is meant to maintain law and order during the upcoming presidential elections on 3rd November 2020. This program involves deploying federal law enforcement agents to assist local police in combating surge of violent crimes in the US. The Operation Legends program has been extended to include cities like Chicago and Albuquerque in New Mexico. The operation was named after legend Taliaferro, who was a 4-year-old child who was shot and killed in Kansas City, Missouri. The program involves federal agents from the FBI, US Marshal Service and other agencies partnering with local law enforcement agencies. So the main purpose is to maintain law and order, and therefore this Operation Legend has been started. And one more issue has been going on in US, that is a city, Portland City, which is located in the state of Oregon in USA. So their the violent protests have been going on between the anti-racist persons and also the federal task force which has been sent, federal troops you can say, which has been sent by US President Donald Trump. And why these protests are taking place over there? Due to the death of George Floyd. He was a 46-year-old black American. He was killed during an arrest from allegedly using a counterfeit bill, and this incident took place in May 2020, and from that day the protests have been going on against the racist person and also the government for not tackling such type of issue. And let's see the question related to the news. Recently, which country has started Operation Legend to crack down on violent crime? China, USA, India and Japan. Quickly comment the correct answer. The correct answer for this is US. Moving forward to the next news, CCI approved the acquisition of Krishnapatnam Port Company Limited by Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited. What is the CCI? It is Competition Commission of India. The acquisition of equity shareholding along with the management control of the company has been proposed by Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited. So there will not be only the acquisition of equity shareholding, but there will also be the control over the management. Adani Ports is a customer-facing integrated port infrastructure service provider which is currently present in 10 domestic ports in 6 maritime states of Gujarat, Goa, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu and Odisha. It manages the logistics chains, that is ships management to encourage pilotage, tug pulling, berthing, goods handling, internal transport, storage, handling and processing. Krishnapatnam Port Company Limited is engaged as a developer and operator of deep water port in Krishnapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. Talking about Competition Commission of India, it is a statutory body which was established under the Competition Commission of India Act of 2002, and this was established on 14th October 2003. And it is responsible for the implementation of Competition Act of 2002 and preventing activities which has an adverse effect on competition in India. Moving forward, let us see a question. Recently CCI has approved the acquisition of Krishnapatnam Port Company Limited by which company? Adani Ports, Special Economic Zone Limited, Cuddalore Port, and both A and B. Quickly comment the correct answer. Which company is acquiring Krishnapatnam Port Company Limited? The correct answer is option D, that is both A and B, that is Adani Ports as well as Special Economic Zone Limited. Moving forward to the next news, Union Home Minister Shri Amit Shah launched Vriksharopan Abhiyan in New Delhi. Along with this, he also inaugurated and laid foundation stone of 6 eco parks for tourist places. The event was concluded through video conferencing at more than 130 locations spread across 38 districts in 10 states with coal and lignite reserves. During this time, large-scale plantations will be done in coal lignite PSU mines, colonies and other suitable areas, and plants will be distributed in the surrounding areas to promote tree plantation by the society. So Vriksharopan Abhiyan, you can understand with the name that trees will be planted, and the trees, there'll be a large scale plantation in the region of where the coal or lignite PSU mines are located, colonies are there, and suitable areas will be identified to plant these trees. Eco parks, tourist sports will provide options for entertainment, adventure, water sports, bird watching, etc. for the people living in the surrounding areas. The work is being undertaken through the active participation of coal lignite PSUs and private miners under the ministry's Going Green initiative. So Going Green initiative, it involves the coverage, increasing the coverage of greenery through ecological reclamation of mined out areas and overburdened dumps, plantation in and around mines, and avenues plantation at suitable places. So in this Going Green initiative, what happens that the mined out areas, these are reclaimed, and reclamation done for these areas, and then plantation drive is conducted, and at suitable places trees are planted. Also, these sites have been planned to generate a revenue for self-sufficiency and to create employment opportunities for the local people as well. This year, 3 coal lignite PSUs, Coal India Limited, NLC India Limited and Singareni Collieries Company Limited, they have set an ambitious target of covering 1,789 hectares in and around the coal fields. That is, in this area, greenery. This area will be covered with greenery. That is, plantation of trees will be will take place in this region. So, friends, here we have covered the daily current affairs and a related question. And I hope you are daily following this daily current affairs. Please like this video, share it as much as you can. Keep preparing well. All the best. Thank you so much.